guess I need to film this video now. Alright, this is a total reshoot. Hello darlings and welcome back to my channel. My name is Hahn, I am a disabled opera singer, and not all disability looks like the disability emoji. Alright, let's do a bit to show what I mean. The Merriam-Webster Online Dictionary defines disability as, quote, a physical, mental, cognitive, or developmental condition that impairs, interferes with, or limits a person's ability to engage in certain tasks or actions, or participate in typical daily activities and interactions. Nothing in there, interestingly, about what disability looks like. Okay then, let's try another one. The United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities defines disability as, quote, long-term physical, mental, intellectual, or sensory impairments which in interaction with various barriers may hinder a person's full and effective participation in society on an equal basis with others. Alright, good to know. Does any definition of disability describe a certain way disability is supposed to look? This random Oxford Canadian dictionary I had lying around my house defines disability as, quote, 1A, a physical or mental handicap, either congenital or caused by injury, disease, etc. B, the condition of having such a handicap. 2, a lack of some asset, quality, or attribute that prevents one's doing something. And 3, incapacity created or recognized by law. I'm sensing a pattern. None of these definitions talk about what disability looks like. Not one. So no, I don't look disabled. Still am though. Now, there are lots of ways in which people could look disabled. Maybe they use a wheelchair or a cane or a walker or some other form of mobility aid. Maybe they have a limb difference and use a prosthesis, or perhaps they have a service dog. Those are all ways in which people can look disabled, but not every user of those aids uses those aids all the time. Does their disability go away when they're not using it? No. Alright, let's use wheelchair users as an example. But remember, this could be true of any medical aid user that you meet. I don't remember the exact percentage now, but some really high percentage of wheelchair users are ambulatory, meaning they can walk. They use wheelchairs for other reasons. For example, to prevent their hips dislocating as they walk, or if they're really prone to fainting, falling, or injuring themselves in some other way. Maybe they have so much fatigue that prolonged walking could set their health back weeks. Maybe they're saving energy by not walking so they can better participate in the event they're attending. Now, is anyone using a wheelchair for any of those reasons? Cured if you later see them stand up to get something on a high shelf in the grocery store? No. Were they faking? Also no. They're just using their aid to better access the world. A really good analogy is this. If someone uses these and you see them take them off, do you think that their vision is better? No. You expect either they're using contacts or they have the type of vision impairment that their glasses aren't helping with right now. Why can't we imagine that of mobility aids too? Sometimes an ambulatory wheelchair user may not need their wheelchair right now, but still need the shorter distance to walk to the front door of their supermarket. So they use the accessible parking space. They're not faking. Please don't leave a note on their car. In fact, the rate of faking disability is actually astonishingly low. If you don't see someone's disability and they're using a resource dedicated to disabled people, like a disabled parking space or a disabled washroom stall, please don't give them that look. This look. The you're faking look. Please, be nice. Not all disabilities are visible. But this, I guess, brings us to the question in the title of this vid. Why I don't look disabled. I don't use mobility aids. Am I still disabled? Yes. I don't use mobility aids because if I am doing so poorly that I'm having difficulty walking, I'm usually also having difficulty getting out of the house or being vertical. If I'm in a position to be in the type of pain that would make it difficult for me to walk, or if my weird AF heart's acting up to the point where I can't walk, you won't see me anyway. In fact, I have more difficulty standing than walking. That's actually been a lifelong thing for me. If I have to stand in one place for too long, I start rocking back and forth just to shift my weight because it makes me so much more comfortable than just standing there. So then what exactly is it that makes my chronic illness also a disability? Those two words are not by necessity synonyms, so I guess the most specific version of this question is, which symptoms of my personal chronic illness are the disabling ones? Well, this definitely varies from person to person, and even from year to year, or even moment to moment. But for me, right now, it is my weird AF heart. It cannot count to 2 and do the normal da-dun, da-dun, da-dun that hearts are supposed to do. And for some reason, it is especially bad at this in the morning and seems to, figure out how to kind of keep me alive as the day goes on. Because of this, if I went from lying down to standing up within an hour of waking up in the morning and attempted to stay that way for more than 10 seconds, I would faint. And if I try to push that length of time back, if I try to get up a little earlier, it begins to mess with my day in that I will faint all during the day. Then, remembering that I'm a performer with shows that end late and that I teach most of my students after work or school hours, this essentially means that I cannot participate in any part of the world that takes place before like 10 a.m. Even that is a stretch. I have to plan days in advance to get to. My earliest student right now is at noon, and I teach them remotely from my house, and even that can be a struggle. I cannot have a job that starts in the morning, period. I may have a call time to a show once or twice that starts in the morning, but only if I have a lot of warning to change my entire schedule around to make it work. Is that disabling? Does it fit all of these definitions? Yes. It's kind of hard to explain how intense and invasive this is to my life right now, to be honest. My cardiologist sent me for a consult to have a minor heart surgery to fix it, but I might do a heart situation update video sometime soon when I have like more information about that. Whatever, moving on to other ways in which I am disabled. I have to save my energy all the time. I have a video where I talk all about that up here. I also randomly dislocate and or sublux my shoulders by doing stuff, sitting down, sleeping, all sorts of stuff. Is that disabling? Does it fit these definitions? Does it incapacitate me and prevent me from participating fully with the world at all times? Yes. What it comes down to is this, and this is just my belief. I in no way represent all disabled people here. I believe there are only two requirements a person has to fit to be able to call themselves disabled. One, that they have a condition that fits all of these definitions, and two, that they think it applies to them. So if you're thinking, wait, Robin, that definition can't be true, because then it could theoretically apply to me. Well, maybe theoretically it could. Maybe there's support and a supportive community for you out there that you never knew there was. And if you're thinking that the breadth of my personal definition of who can be quote-unquote allowed to call themselves disabled is a bad thing, well, I don't know you, so I wouldn't want to judge, but maybe check with yourself that it's not internalized ableism talking. There is no cap on the number of people allowed to be disabled. This isn't some exclusive club where only a certain number of people can enter. Neither is there any hierarchy of disability involved, where one person's severe disability makes the next person undeserving of their place in the community. If you are disabled, you're disabled enough. This is not a ride that you have to be this disabled to enter. All this means that if someone tells you they're disabled or starts using resources for disabled folks, believe them. Believe disabled people. You may not see it, but according to all of these resources, it still can be true. And remember, if you were looking for a joyful little corner of the internet where we could chat about opera, disability, queerness, cats, and tea, you have found it. And if you weren't looking for it, you have found it anyway. So go hit that subscribe button and ring the little bell so you never miss an upload. Keep the comment section full of joy and light, and I will see you in my next video. That's why I don't look disabled. I don't have to be disabled. Tea. I get so sweaty just trying to set up everything for filming. Gross monster. Shaky, shaky, shaky. If you want to learn a little bit more about my particular disabilities and what they actually mean for me, you can click this video right here.